I have a hereditary gap in my eyebrow. Till people wore comically small ties back in the day. OMG, how did I not notice this, ha ha ha. My grandfather always told me to just buy a medium tie because over the course of his life he watched fat short ties become popular, then die out, then skinny ties came back in for a while before going back to medium and then wide again. He owns like 50 ties in all different sizes. OMG, if you hadn't pointed that out I never would have noticed, ha ha ha. I was more focused on the fact of how crazy it is to see how far back genetic facial features go. Other than the eyebrow thing, they have a few other facial features in common. Bless you, I kept scrolling and was flabbergasted that no one was talking about the tie. It seriously looks like the artist started to paint the tie and then was like, nah, I'm tired of being tied down with this, on to bigger things. That's actually a regular tie and this dude is 12 tall. Tie length and width has generally be inversely proportional to the quality of the economy at the time. The theory is that a long and wide tie in harsh economic times makes it look like you are doing very well despite the economy to be able to afford such a large tie, whereas in a good economy that type of signaling isn't needed and so the ties shrink back down. As such, I'm guessing that this painting was made during good economic times. Why do we all have to wear these ridiculous ties? It's a portrait of my great-great-grandfather on the left. My dad also has the gap as well. It doesn't always show, I guess BC my eyebrows are kinda unruly and curly so sometimes the gap is covered. I also sometimes fill them, especially BC I've had people ask if I shaved the gap to be cool, lol. I think the gap is really cool. Even cooler when side by side next to a freaking painting of your great-great-grandfather. When was he alive? In the 1900s or was it earlier? What year is it? Edit, I mean, what year was it made in? This is how you will be able to reassert your claim to Blackacre, the estate wrongly stolen from your GG grandfather by his sister and her dastardly second husband, who was scandalously 18 years her junior. Wow, you guys look so much alike. The eyes, nose, mouth, face structure, it's everything. The seed is strong. I also have unusual eyebrows from birth up. I know your pain when everybody in school used to say you're doing those on purpose to look cool. I also sometimes fill them, especially BC I've had people ask if I shaved the gap to be cool, lol. That's just how jealous people are of your unique feature. I know I am. Embrace it and don't let the world ever shame you into hiding it again. I'm not a biologist, but a trait that breeds so incredibly true, that might be an ancient mutation. Especially since we know it's on the X chromosome. In other words, it's not the kind of thing that your mother's genes could fill in because the other copy wasn't working to grow the hair in that patch. Therefore, there's no limit on the number of generations the brow gap could have lasted through. Edit, as someone pointed out, this could be an autosomal trait, not present on either sex chromosome. Ops, eyebrow thing either results from a mutation on the X portion of the 23rd XY chromosome or a dominant hereditary trait present in the autosomes, the non-sex chromosome pairs. Basically, what I'm saying is that your father's line might have included this trait all the way back to a time when the eyebrows were just the longest fur on the forehead. Y'all might have been important people in your local cave society, because everyone thought the cave spirits marked you with missing face fur. Your great-great-grandfather looks like he would be an awesome BioShock villain. Are you the one on the left of right? Clearly, the correct response is that you're just naturally cool. I got injured as a kid in the same spot while playing basketball and it required stitching. Lots of people think I purposely shave it for the cool effect as well. It stopped getting noticed the minute I started to wear my glasses everywhere. That's so cool. You have the most beautiful eyes, your great-great-grandfather's eye shape. Must be on the same chromosome as the eyebrows, and I bet it's a dominant gene. You get a cool daily choice about what to do with your brows that most of us would never get. You two have similar noses too. Overall their faces are fairly similar looking, That's quite interesting how genetics determines everything down to your nose shape. I actually had a housemate with a massive nose, and when I met her brother I knew he was related even before we were introduced because he also had an enormous hooter. There's lots of strong genetics there. They look very much alike. Whoa, that's super cool. Genetics are so interesting. It's like they have the same line of missing code. Or the same extra code. They blow my mind away. What I find odd is that people readily accept that you can inherit physical traits, disorders, and pretty much anything generally assumed to be out of one's control, but when it comes to psychological traits or tendencies like intelligence, a lot of people also act as though we are total masters over our own minds. We have a lot less control over who we are than we'd like to think. Does your family have a hereditary monobrow nemesis family? If not, you should find one. The Gallagher brothers. I have both, monobrow and a gap on one side of my eyebrow. It's interesting how genetics work and how physics work when you mix a swing and a 3-yo walking nearby. Somewhere in the dark ages, Imma cut you so hard your kids ave scars. His line lasted hundreds of years, so I figure he is ultimately the winner. I don't always filter Reddit posts by new, but when I do eyebrows. Scowls. Reluctantly hits upvote. I was about to tell you I hate you, but this exact type of shitposting is what I come on Reddit for. Take my upvote, you filthy bastard. Take your fucking upvote and get out of here. Buh. Yeah, okay, lil dicky. Eyebrows long like AD. Ha. Unbelievable. Oh, at first I was looking at the gap between your eyebrows, wondering what I was supposed to be seeing. It took me way too long to notice the gap in the hair of each of your right eyebrows. Most people have a gap between their eyebrows, duh. Oh wait. LOL. Damn, you just changed my worldview, dog. I'm happy that I wasn't the only one who thought like this. They do have a similar gap between their eyebrows too. Bullshit, that's just you with short hair and a mustache. She used the Snapchat filter and then painted a self-portrait. And a teeny tiny tie. Giant man or tiny tie? Tieni. Neither. The man is very close but the tie is very far away. They are both normal size. Mine isn't hereditary. Drunken stupidity. It looks like his nose hung around too. Very cool. Hopefully drunken stupidity isn't hereditary for you. Same. A guy headbutted me in a bar after I laughed when he asked who wanted a headbutt. Apparently laughing was an affirmative answer. Never jump on a bed in a room with a ceiling fan. Mine's from when I was a kindergartner and learned that boomerangs aren't made for playing catch, especially very thin plastic ones. Mine also isn't hereditary. Tripped on some folded carpet and face planted into the corner edge of a video game machine at Chuck E. Cheese's when I was 5. LOL, I'm sort of in this boat. Lost a fight with my car windshield and now have 3 eyebrows instead of 2. My wife has one too. She decided that it would be a good idea to lick a doorknob. While she was trying to get up to do the deed, she stumbled on her own feet and managed face plant directly on said doorknob. Now she has a cool anime villain vertical line through the eyebrow. I had to fall down the stairs and into a radiator when I was 2 for my eyebrow gap. So basically natural drunken stupidity. Mine is from tripping up the stairs. I was running late to class in high school and tripped, my laptop hit the stairs then bounced back and hit my face. The bright side is I didn't get the Saturday morning detention you get for being late. Congratulations, too, on your excellent hair. I came here to say this. Your hair is so beautiful. It's so distinctive. I think it gives you a great look. I always thought those were scars. Interesting. Spoiler, it's a scar, but Op's parents weren't keen on telling her how they dropped her head on a coffee table when she was little. Source, AM parent, preparing for the day one of my kids asks about their eyebrow gaps. It's hereditary, LOL. Your great-granddad looked like a young version of George Banks from Mary Poppins. Maybe not hereditary, but I love your hair. Pretty sure hair type is also inherited. Same, but alcoholism. Oof. And you know you would totally pull off a handsome mustache. I feel like this is r/interesting as fuck really neat. Up. I have that too, but mine is a scar when I was 8, from spinning circles in our living room and walking back to my room, falling, and hitting my head on the banister corner. God, why did I have kids? Mine is from jumping from my brother's bed head first onto my bed like Superman. One time I jumped too far and hard and my head hit the corner of the headboard. It took a few seconds and then all of a sudden blood everywhere. My sister did something very similar. Spun around and tried to walk in a straight line with her eyes closed. Ended up tripping and slamming her face into the brick fireplace. Amazingly, the only damage was a big goose egg on her forehead. I'm not sure that's hereditary. But I'm no expert. Maybe the head hitting is hereditary. I also have one from jumping on the bed and falling off, smacking my eyebrow on the corner of a dresser. I remember sitting there with the dresser corner in my head looking up at my dad. I was maybe 5. The fact that you have a portrait of your great-great-grandfather is pretty fascinating in of itself. This man looks like Gilbert Fontaine de la Tour d'Arrive. That's cool as hell. Nice try, future time traveler. At first I was like, yeah, so does anyone without a unibrow, but then I saw you meant a gap horizontally, rather than vertically. Nice try, you gender-bending time traveler. I like your hair. You look pretty similar in general, tbh. It's kinda crazy seeing the genes pass through the generations. Similar eyes, nose, and lips. The seed is strong. This is why eyebrows Reddit. Your great-grandfather was a painting? Damn, you pull it off as well as your great-grandpappy too. Good thing it's not a hereditary mustache. There's a pretty notable amount of similarity in general, which is pretty cool to see. Vote for Pedro. Silently waiting for the commenters who mistake this for AR/roastme. Debt gap. Very cool. You found your next Halloween costume too. Wow, this is truly mildly interesting. Having a child with someone remotely similar to you is discount immortality. Change my mind. I just wanted to say that IMHO, it was a good decision you got rid of the mustache. Op should wear a fake mustache and a dark suit to mimic the painting. You could be Brow Brothers. Suspicious, do you usually hide it? There is nothing comical about your appearance. BTW, I love the curls. Peace, sister. Only good dreams from now on. Upvote. Holy fuck, this has 107k upvotes. And the comments are basically r/roastme. You're pretty, BTW3. Please upgrade this to r/interesting as fuck/. You're beautiful. I got a gap on my eyebrow too, except I'm Asian. Would you up my sister from another mister? But even cooler is that you also kinda look like Weird Al. Like father, like son. The anti-monobrow. That's awesome, smiley face. Thank God you don't have a hereditary mustache gap as well. I have hereditary eyebrows. Damn, that's cool. Just wait until the stash comes in. If your kids don't have it, it may raise some eyebrows. Sick. You'd look pretty dope with that mustache, too. Interesting, me and my dad's side of the fam have something like this, but ours is more vertical. That's so cool. Very interesting. I knew a few kids with marks in their eyebrows growing up. I always thought they were scars. I have one as well, but yours looks way cooler. Mine is just a line and it's from putting my face through a windshield at about 45 miles per hour. That mildly interesting. That's pretty neat. Wonder what causes it, I mean, more specifically than just genetics. That tie. The male side of your family must be very well endowed. This is so cool. Now I'm worried what weird trait of mine my great-grandkids will get. Sorry future babies. I have the same thing. But it's because I got hit in the face with a PVC pipe as a kid. Your great-great-grandfather looks like Jack Rackham. If you ever get super wealthy, and like a bastard child enters your estate, your butler would call you and say something like, "He has the family mark." I have a thing that I don't think is hereditary. My eyebrows curl up in around the middle, kinda looking like horns, so I've been told. Pretty sure I'm Satan though, as I'm ginger too. Still better than one eyebrow. Now that's interesting. Honestly, you have the same face and eyebrow shape, it's pretty impressive. I was like, I think everyone has that. That's why they are called eyebrows. Then, oh, I think it's cooler that you have an old fucking painting of an ancestor. Dope. Didn't inherit the mustache gap though. Not gonna lie, that's pretty cool you have an painting of your ancestor, Dave. This really is mildly interesting. Is like the birthmark of a Joestar. I'm conflicted. I want to upvote but this is just too damn interesting. I wanna see this on r/roastme soon. But can you rock a statue like that? Mind the gap. A striking resemblance to Andrew Scott's version of Moriarty. I suspect it may be a cunning disguise to evade detection. You are Moriarty in disguise. Case closed, Watson. Doesn't everyone have a gap between their two eyebrows? You should be more concerned about that hereditary mustache when you hit your 40s. This is so mildly interesting, thank you for posting. Did Howard leave you any of the Stark fortune? But only in this one pic, apparently. What's your mustache look like? I have a gap in my eyebrow too, but I got mine when my older brother smashed me in the eye with one of those old-timey calculators with the roll of paper coming out of the top. How's your mustache? All BS aside, I think that is freaking cool. Like, you could see someone and be like, wait, your eyebrow, could we be related? And, also for how can we be sure she's the true heir, situations. Own it. Reminds me of the scar on the lip that Ezio passed down his line to Desmond. Mine look like that too, but because I got kicked in the face. This is seriously one of the most amazing demonstrations of genetics that I've ever seen. So freaking cool. Thanks for sharing. This is awesome. It suits you. Looks dope, I like your hair too. Beats having a vestigial monkey tail, no? Habsburg eyebrows. Nuff said. I believe that's called a mustache, young lady. Unlike that girl in Hereditary, who has a gap above her neck. I think Mazikeen on Lucifer has this. Leslie Ann Brandt. Or it's a scar. Or it's makeup. Still, it's cool. My dumb ass kept looking at the space in between your eyebrows. There is beauty in imperfection. I thought this was for r/roastme. Hereditary gap. I'll see myself out. A bit late, and maybe it's already mentioned, but this might be epigenetic, which is the study of heritable phenotype changes that do not involve alterations in the DNA sequence. This is amazing. You are absolutely stunning. Sorts by controversial. Y'all motherfuckers need Jesus badly. Is that Howard Stark on the left? Lucky. I just got a hereditary gap in knowledge. Wow, this is what I find when I browse the internet. Reincarnation equals confirmed. SRSLY though, what's with his tie being so little? And a hereditary nose. Also the same mouth and underbite. It's weird because I do also, but it's just from my dad, and he was wounded there in war, and somehow I have the same gap as him in my eyebrow. I don't understand it. Can you explain why your post history shows pictures of you without the gap? I have a stupidity gap in mine. I smacked myself in the face with a stick when I was younger. Chris Bear would like to know your location *. That's interesting, Never seen that before. Just don't let your little sister's head get decapitated like in Hereditary, and I think you'll be fine. Thanks for watching. If you could like, subscribe and comment best Reddit stories for more Reddit videos.